Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, we're going to take a look at Ethereum, we're going to take a look at Ripple, Litecoin, Monero, we're going to look at EOS and SALT. Okay, so first up is Bitcoin. You can see here it's at 17,200. It's up nearly 5%. You could check out this linear chart here, how it's just made this parabolic move. It spiked up to 17,000, pulled back, and now it's breaking out above that level. So this is a really huge move for Bitcoin. It's pushing hard here. If you look at the Bitcoin Bitstamp chart, now you have to keep in mind which exchange that you're looking at. The prices will vary depending on the exchange. This is the Bitstamp chart, and it's a 15-minute chart. And as you can see here, to me, it was looking like a head and shoulders pattern had formed. There was the left shoulder here, the head, the right shoulder, and then the neckline. And that this could be a stretch, and then it looked like it could be. It was setting up to possibly break down below this neckline again, like it did right here, but for sure it had a symmetrical triangle pattern going. Notice how it had descending resistance and ascending support, and it was coming to what we call a flex point, where either resistance was going to break or support was going to break. Now there was a little tease here where support broke briefly, and I did put out alerts saying that the move was coming soon, that one of these two levels was going to break shortly, and that is what happened. It ended up breaking above resistance, so that was very good for the bulls. Broke out. That's what everybody wanted to see, and it ran right up to the key level, up to the closing price here on the 12th, the high close up here at the 17,355 level. And so notice that was the high. It pushed above that up to about 17,426, and it pulled back. And so right now the high close level for it to break is 17,000 to basically 300. If you can get above 300, and then if you can get a close above 355, that'll signal that it wants to break out higher. Now it's formed what we call a double top. So it ran up to this high, the all-time high close, and then it pulled back, and then now it's ran back up to that level. So now it's double topped, and now it has to break out above that level and form a new high close in order to break out higher. If it fails to do that, then you could see some consolidation. So yeah, this was a huge move. We'll see if it can stay up there and keep breaking higher. If you take a look at the one-day chart, you will see here, yeah, this is the Bitstamp chart that we had been working on. Let me get the annotations out of the way here. Let's see. Oh yeah, well it's actually going to put on the ones from before. Let's take a look at the Coinbase one, because that'll give us some different annotations here. And so yeah, if you look here at the Coinbase chart, this is the one-day chart, and so you could see what's going on is it came up and it had made the high up here at the 17,400 level, and then it broke above that level. Okay, so the break above that level signaled more upside potential. So that's a very bullish move. So here, let's put in that line here, and then so you can check it out and see what I'm talking about. So now you have a new key high close resistance level to break. That's right here at 17,734. So this candle right here, that's the big level to break. Once Bitcoin closes above the closing price on the 12th, that'll signal that it's ready to break out higher. It's forming higher highs, so it is, it does have, it is uptrending here. So that is good. The uptrend is still intact. You want to see it continually, if you're a bull, making higher highs. The big thing is going to be, can it hold support? And so what it needs to hold is this blue line right here, which is the 9-day simple moving average, and that's currently at 16,646. So if you see it break below that level, that's when if you see a close below the 9-day simple moving average, that's going to be the sign that it could possibly cool down and pull back. And then that's when the middle Bollinger Band, which is way down here at 13,450, this line right here, would be on deck. So it's flirting with that. It's coming across here. It just has to break above resistance. Notice how it's struggling right now with that 17,400 level. And so what you really want to see is a break above that. That's going to signal that it wants to head higher. Okay, let's look at ETHUSD. This is Ethereum. Ethereum. Okay, so this is the chart that we've been working on. This is the Bitstamp chart, and as you can see, it made a freaking monster breakout after. Okay, so we posted this chart showing this channel down here, and it was in a downtrending channel, and this is the daily chart, and what we were looking for was a break above resistance, and that happened on this candle right here on the 12th. Notice how it broke out above this red descending resistance line, and at the same time it broke above high close resistance. It was in a sideways channel, and at the same time it was in this descending channel, and it had broken below the middle Bollinger Band. It was in the possibility that Ethereum was going to start a new downtrend, but instead it broke out above resistance, and this candle on the 12th was your signal to load. And if you did, you were rewarded handsomely. It ran all the way up here to near 1750. You know, it hit the 746 for a high, and then what happened was yesterday it formed a bearish harem reversal pattern. Notice how this red candle fits inside the previous green candle, so that signaled downside risk, and now today you have a red candle forming. So if a red candle does end up forming today, that will be confirming this reversal pattern, and that could signal consolidation. Notice how yesterday's candle was a spinning top. Notice the long upper and lower wicks, and how the real candle body was very small. That's an indecision candle, and notice how it did form above the upper Bollinger Band. Many times when that happens, the candles work their way back in the bands. The thing is, the first major support level on this chart is way down here at the 9-day simple moving average here at 544. So that is the downside risk, as it could pull back to that level. You know, there is support as well from the previous close, and so you really want to see this level right here hold the 620 level. So if it can hold 620, that would be good. Once it dips, you could possibly see a bounce off 620. If 620 doesn't hold, then you're looking at a potential drop down there to the 540. What is this? 544 level. Okay, so let's look at XRP. Okay, so Ripple made a huge move. Okay, so we had been charting that as well, and we put out alerts that it broke out above the middle Bollinger Band, and then and then it had broke out above the 47 level. It just keeps breaking out higher. You know, so it had the really tight Bollinger Bands. So this is the classic setup when people are like, yeah, I'm looking for a good play. What's a good setup? Well, what you're looking for, one good setup is very tight Bollinger Bands. Notice how tight they were back here in November, and then it had the nice uptrend, and then once again you had the super tight Bollinger Bands here. The Bollinger Bands are, you have the upper Bollinger Band is this line, the green line, and then this green line down here is the lower Bollinger Band, and then you have this a red line, dark red line in the middle as the middle Bollinger Band. And what's going on is you've got the breakout right here on this candle on the 12th. The break above the Bollinger Bands and above the 9-day simple moving average, that was signaling that it wanted to head higher. And so it just continued breaking out higher. Finally today, it's cooling down. Okay, so now you've got the red candle forming here on today's candle. It had the big climax push yesterday. Notice how there was the giant volume spike. You have the volume bars down here. So you have what we call a climax spike, a huge push well above the upper Bollinger Band. It was on a 4-day run. You know, it hit up here all the way up at 88. So it was you know, up basically from this 20, you know, down here at 22. You know, it's returned huge percentage gains. You know, it ran 400%, and then now it's cooling down. Today, bearish harem reversal pattern is forming. If you remember, that was the pattern that formed here for Ethereum, and then look what happened the next day. It was a very small candle for Ethereum. This pattern is a little stronger with the big red candle currently. Notice the upper Bollinger Band is way down here at basically 65 cents. And so the candles could work their way back into 65. The chart could still be really bullish. It just got ahead of itself. You know, nothing goes straight up. And so basically you want to see 65 hold on a pullback. If it drops below 65, then you have the closing price down here at 46. And you know, you have the 9-day simple moving average way down here at 39. So yeah, it really got ahead of itself. Yeah, you really want to follow the intraday charts to time the bounce correctly on the pullback. Okay, let's look at Litecoin Ltc Usd. Okay, so this formed the same pattern, the bearish harem pattern. It had, notice how it's the same pattern. You had the tight Bollinger Bands, right? So very tight Bollinger Bands. If we pull it out a little bit, you could see that they were insanely tight, right? So when you get the this took a while to set up, but this whole sideways action here, it was leading to an event that was setting up and this was the explosion. And so all this were people loading in a very tight range. And then once it started this steady uptrend, the long term, the swing trade signal was just to keep riding. As long as this 9-day simple moving average and this middle Bollinger Band were holding, the signal was just to keep riding if you're a swing trader, if you're not day trading this. And so finally you were rewarded with the big parabolic spike. It ran all the way up to this 350 level, and then yesterday, 2 days ago, on the what was this, on the 13th, it formed a bearish Haremy reversal pattern, the same pattern, and then notice how it confirmed the pattern. The candles worked into the bands. I mean, the people are wondering, can you chart these cryptos? You can chart anything. We chart commodities, we chart equities, we anything that you can put on a chart, on a candlestick chart. We like the Japanese candlesticks the best. We can chart, and so yes, the cryptocurrencies can, and they're behaving very well. They're following all the principles and that we look for, and they're confirming patterns, and they're very, they're charting very well. And so right now what you're looking for is for the support. Okay, so it doesn't have much support right here. What happens is when you get, this was a blue sky breakout. This was running to new all-time highs. When it's a blue sky breakout, there's no historical reference for resistance. I mean, look back here. This was the start of trading. Okay, so this thing didn't, it hasn't been trading for very long. It started trading back here in June, and so you can't go back. When you're trading equities that have been around for a few years, you can always go back and you're like, oh, look at this resistance level. Well, this was a blue sky breakout. So what you have to do really is you need to follow the intraday charts. That's where you're going to find the resistance on this candle here. And for the daily chart, it's got, the next support level is way down here at 208. So it could have a big drop before it finds key support. What you need to do is you need to use the intraday charts. If you look at the 15-minute chart here, what you want to do is you want to go back and you want to look and you want to say, okay, where was it at that it found resistance at before, because resistance turns into support. And so what you do is you find key levels like right here, and you draw a support line, and then it's like freaking magic. And it's like, oh, look, this was major resistance. Oh, look, it's hitting that, and it bounced off as support. So yeah, I can teach you how to do all this. Come to our chat. We do this every day. And then the cool thing is you learn how to do this, and then you can do it on your own for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? You learn how to do this, and you learn how to chart correctly and read the charts on your own. That's the whole point of me doing this all the time, is so that you can learn and then do it on your own, and then you can pass that on. And so it's all about gaining the knowledge so that you can chart and then make these, it's going to really help you out a lot, just being able to learn how to chart correctly. And so, yeah, look here. Once again, you had the tight Bollinger Bands. Look how tight they were down here in October. I mean, this was so freaking tight. When the Bollinger Bands get really tight like that, it's like somebody taking a champagne bottle and you're just shaking it up and shaking it up, and the tighter it gets, like right here where they're almost touching, it's just shaking up, and then boom, they popped it open, and look what happens. The share price runs, hundreds of percent, and this is because all these people loaded, and then boom, and the currency runs like crazy. And so basically Monero has been one heck of a beautiful chart. This has been actually one of the strongest cryptocurrencies, since November, as you can see, since the breakout. This has been riding the 9-day simple moving average the entire time. It doesn't get talked about much. It's the dark cloud, it has the bad, Monero, you can read about Monero, and so they don't talk about it as much, but it has a super freaking strong chart. And so the big thing here is the 9-day simple moving average at 279. As long as that's holding, just the swing trade signal is to keep riding. You keep holding. If you're a longer term player, if you're not a day trader, once it drops below, you get that close behind the 9-day simple moving average. That's when it could drop down to the middle Bollinger Band at 230. So the signal is that you get rewarded. Sometimes people overtrade. You know, like you could have just been riding this thing the whole month of November and just banking and doing absolutely freaking nothing. Okay, so yeah, so just think about that out there. You know, some people overtrade. You have to decide what kind of trader are you. Are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader? Are you a long-term swing trader? Are you an investor? You have to change your strategy depending on what type of trader you are. And this is because a lot of new people are watching these videos, and I'm just putting that out there, that it makes a big difference on your strategy. And so yeah, so this is EOS. And so once again, look at these Bollinger Bands over here. I'm telling you guys, the tight Bollinger Bands are money. This is the super money setup. You look for this on any time frame. We look for this on the 15-minute chart to signal a stock's breaking out, and that's what we do a lot of penny stocks. And so this is a pattern that we look for frequently, and a break above the moving averages, and it works great on the daily chart. And if you see a pattern like this on the weekly chart and you see a breakout, it's even better for a longer term play. This is a really good setup. It busted out. Same thing. It's been riding the 9-day simple moving average, but notice how it went parabolic. If you look at XMR, it hasn't done the parabolic spike yet. You know, it's just steady. It's just steady. When things peak, a lot of times they get that push, and then they'll pull back a little bit. And so this did have the parabolic spike here on the 13th, and then it pushed higher on the 14th, and then now today you have the bearish Harami reversal pattern forming. You have the red candle. When you have multiple green candles in a row and you start to see a red candle, that's your signal. Okay, if you're a day trader, if you're looking to flip and lock in gains, you lock them in here, and then you look for a reload off of support. Right now you're looking at 727, 728. That's going to be your support level that you want to see hold. That's the closing price from back here on the 13th. If that breaks, then you could see a big drop. You know, you've got the 9-day simple moving average way down here at 537 is the next support level on the daily chart. Like I said before, you got to use that 15-minute chart to really time the bounces and where key support levels are. Okay, so let's look at SALT. This is SALT, and we keep talking about it because they have a launch coming in December, and so this chart is winding up. If you could see here, it's been in a trading range. It's just going sideways. Notice how this is the top of the channel up here. I'm calling it 6-1. It's 00061 is what I'm calling it. This is wild. This is like, because trips in Pennyland, you just really try to stay away from triple zeros. And now here we go. It's so wild how these cryptocurrencies are just like the penny stocks, you know, with all the pump and dumps and everything. But yeah, this is the triple O's are back in play with triple O Bitcoin and readings here. So 00061 is the big level to break. Once you see SALT closing above 00061 Bitcoin, and then you're gonna see a breakout higher. That's the big level. That's what we're looking for. A close above on the daily chart, and then to the downside, you know, you don't want to see a break below 0.0003. It's been trading in a sideways channel, and as you can see, now it has higher lows going. And so this is exactly what you want to see. You don't want to see new lows being made. If this is legit, and it looks like it is, they have a lot of key people. It's a lending service that they're created, and they're starting to launch in December. And so they've been building up for this. The coin's already trading, you know, pre-launch. If you look at their website and see their plan of attack, they've got it all laid out, and it's just starting. So this is one of the ones that you could get in theoretically on the ground floor. So yeah, this is like it's not an ICO because it's already trading, but they haven't even launched yet. So yeah, we'll see if their platform and everything works out good. If you look here, it has the symmetrical triangle pattern going, right? So you have the descending resistance, and then you have ascending support. And if you remember the chart that I posted on BTCUSD on the 15-minute chart, and then it broke above the descending resistance, and then it broke out higher, and then just like the Ethereum chart, remember when it broke above the horizontal resistance and then above the top of the descending resistance in the channel, that's when it broke out higher. So just like this right here, so the big breakout. So that's what you're looking for on SALT. You're looking for a push through that on a green candle on a green volume spike. Okay, if you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis and how you can chart anything, including all these cryptocurrencies, using technical analysis, come check out our chat. I'll post the link on the bottom of the YouTube video. Okay, thank you.